This is the Berman Method podcast featuring Dr. Jake Berman and physician assistant Jenny Berman. We are here to treat problems and not symptoms. Disclaimer, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and not to treat anyone or to give medical advice. If you are interested in any information that we are giving and would like to use this for yourself, we recommend that you contact your primary care physician or reach out to us and ask us questions about yourself specifically. Enjoy.
We are back, baby. David against Goliath, where Goliath's the corporate medical system, the insurance companies, the pharmaceutical companies choosing profits over patient outcomes over and over again. The Berman Method podcast. Dr. Jake Berman here with my lovely co-host,
Jenny Berman, physician assistant.
And we are jacked up and ready to go. This is going to be an exciting episode.
We have so much to talk about on this Monday morning.
So much. This is probably going to be a 3-hour Joe Rogan length podcast.
Well, maybe.
No.
We thought last week was going to be a quick discussion about our new app, and then we would get into some other wellness things, but then we just had so much information to talk about with the app, we didn't even get to it. But we could have. We could have done a 3-hour episode last week.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be quick. 30 minutes later, it's like we didn't even talk about what we wanted to talk about.
That's right. But the app's just so exciting.
It's so exciting. If you didn't hear about Berman Health and Wellness launching their app, go back to last week's episode and listen to it. Very exciting. People are absolutely loving it, making it so much easier to be successful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Where can they find it?
On your app store. So Apple or Android can download it. Just search Berman Health and Wellness. You can also find it through our social media pages. If you go to our Linktree page, we'll have it linked there so that you can try out the 1-week free trial.
That's awesome. Make sure you check it out. Take advantage of the free week trial. And I'm also going to do a little plug here for our golf membership site. So Berman Golf, we've been working very hard behind the scenes for the past 3, 4, 5, 6 months, building out a membership site full of videos and turnkey ways to improve your golf game. I'm not going to talk too much about it. Just go to info.bermangolf.com/membership. And you can get all the information you want. Check the show notes. I'll link to it in the show notes. Go to the Long Balls Golf podcast. That's my podcast for Berman Golf. And I've got a whole entire episode talking more about it. So go check that out.
Awesome.
So much fun stuff this summer.
All these different sites, and it's just more information for you to be able to join and to get and to start utilizing before any other commitments.
I'm going to tweak that statement just a hair.
Okay.
It's not necessarily more information as much as it is more ways to be successful, because we've been, both you and I over the years have been running into tons of people that have the best excuses in the world to not let us help guide them on their journey.
Right. So
I don't live in town. I'm only here for 6 months out of the year. I have to go home and feed my cat. Like, it's just nonstop, the amount of excuses that people have come up with over the years. So we've decided, you know what? I'm going to make a solution to that excuse.
Right.
You can no longer use that as an excuse because X, Y, Z.
Right. You have a virtual option, or you have it at your fingertips on your phone rather than actually having to come into the office.
You don't even have to talk to us. Now you can just do it through your phone. Come on.
It's true.
Now the next excuse is going to be, well, my phone battery died, so I I need a charger.
I don't have enough service.
Or I couldn't cut off Instagram and I had to actually get back to work, so I didn't have time to take care of my health.
Right. All the excuses.
Yes. So anyways, lots of exciting things. Go check it out. The Berman Health and Wellness app, the Berman Golf membership site, lots of fun things. Today we want to talk about some very unusual ways that gut health or lack of gut health can present itself. Because just a couple of weeks ago, you had a phenomenal review by a lady that has a ton of courage who posted a very amazing testimonial, picture testimonial on Facebook. No filters, no makeup. And it was an extremely powerful testimonial. So I thought that it would be a good idea for us to talk about that testimonial and talk about some other unique ways that people have been dealing with things, and you would never ever think that gut health was what caused it.
100%. So she actually posted, like you said, on her very own Facebook page, not even initially for us. She was just posting it for her family and friends. And then we happened to get some feedback about it. And so we asked her to share the post, and she actually ended up posting it on Google too. So you can log on to our Google reviews and see it for yourself. But you're absolutely right. Very vulnerable of her to post her story regarding her history of being very sick during pregnancy, which is actually why she came to see me, because she would, during her pregnancy, just could not figure out a way to fuel her body that didn't make her sick. And so we were working through that aspect, but through this process of figuring out what was happening with her gut health to make her have such, and this is a kind of a harsh term, but rejection to being pregnant, we started working through her vitamin deficiencies, her gut health, her food sensitivities. And one of the things that she didn't like about herself the most at the time was also the cystic acne that she had dealt with for years and years and years, even prior to pregnancy, and had been through so many different makeup companies and prescriptions and medications to help with the cystic acne, covered it up all of the time. But then as we worked through her gut health for a different reason, her cystic acne ended up completely clearing with adjusting her nutrients. So the amount of proteins, carbs, fats that she was getting into her body and the way she was fueling her body, but also with her vitamin deficiencies and her food sensitivities. So through working through all these things, 3 different things: making sure she was fueling her body right with her macronutrients, making sure she was getting the right vitamins for her body specifically, not just the over-the-counter vitamins that you go and pick up because you heard it's good for you, and then figuring out her food sensitivities and microbiome environment of her gut and balancing that, her cystic acne has completely cleared.
You keep saying cystic. Is it fair to say adult acne? So she's an adult.
Yeah, so what cystic acne means, yeah, she's an adult and has bad acne. So it's not like she's, 12 and 13, 14-year-old female having puberty type acne. She's an adult with acne, but cystic means that they're not just whiteheads. They can get pretty big and open up, and some of them will bleed. It looks like a small little cyst, what you would imagine a cyst to look like. And that it doesn't technically have to be cystic acne. Adults can still get other acne that are very much related to 3 things. 1, they're not getting the right balance of their proteins to carbohydrates. So they're increasing their risk of bacterial and fungal overgrowth in the gut, which presents through their skin. They don't have the right balance of bacteria in their gut because of years of food sensitivities or allergies, or they're lacking certain vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin D, magnesium.
Okay, got it. So, in summary, this lady came to you because not for her acne at all.
No, that was not the initial plan to treat her acne, although certainly through the medical consultation, I ask about these things. I ask tons and tons of questions during the medical history that people are like, why are you asking me? That's not even why I said I was coming to you, but it allows me to connect the dots, put things together and figure out what is the underlying problem going on here. So certainly we talked about her acne during our consultation, But that was not her initial concern or her goal. Her goal was just to be able to eat something while she was pregnant and not be totally miserable.
Okay. That is awesome. Think about the amount of relief, satisfaction, gratitude, life change that it makes when you're a female and you're constantly self-conscious about essentially painting your face to make it to where you feel confident enough or comfortable enough to go out in public. And then all of a sudden, you don't have to worry about that anymore. And it had to do with your freaking gut.
Right. And it's not just female. I'm treating actually a 21-year-old male right now that came to me for acne for a separate reason. And he knew about me because his mom was a prior patient of mine for her gut health. But she actually recommended that he come see me at 21 years old because he's struggling with technically adult acne as well, but it's something that he's dealt with for years and years and years. And again, has been through tons of different medications. So very similar to her, we looked at vitamin deficiencies, we've checked hormone levels, we're looking deeper into the gut health, checking for the balance of the good and bad bacteria, any fungal overgrowth in the gut. And that's how we're approaching it and treating it. We're already seeing improvements.
That's awesome. And didn't you have a really good story with a kid too, like a baby?
Yeah, we had a 2-year-old had very bad eczema, psoriasis at 2 years old. And we worked with her as well with her mom, obviously. Weren't really working with the 2-year-old, but working with her mom on her food and making sure that she was getting the right balance of nutrients and figuring out her food sensitivities to optimize her gut health, and had a very significant improvement with her eczema psoriasis. She had a lot of babies will get eczema and psoriasis on the backs of their legs, on their arms, and their creases where they have little rolls and they crease over. And every doctor will tell you, oh, they'll grow out of it. But really, it's what is mom eating? What is baby consuming that they're sensitive to? This little girl had it terrible on her face. I mean, her cheeks were just red and raw, oozy sometimes. And yeah, she was 2 years old, had been dealing with it since she was about 3 or 4 months old, and came down to her food sensitivities and had very significant improvements.
That's awesome. And, it's so funny how we as American adults can just brush things off and just say, and pretend like they don't even exist sometimes because we're so used to living with certain things. On the other hand, when you see it in a child, it pulls at your heart where it's like, man, I feel so bad for this kid. And it happens with us. It just happened with us when we went to Cabo back in May. We went out there, and we usually, when we travel, we go to Jamaica or we go to the Bahamas, and usually dietary issues are a non-issue there because it's jerk chicken, beans, peas, and rice. I mean, it's healthy. There's nothing processed. When we went to Cabo, we really struggled to find gluten-free and dairy-free options. And there really was not very much dairy-free options for the kids. So Stella, our 4-year-old, had consumed excessively more dairy that week that we were there than she had consumed on a regular basis her whole entire life. And when we got home, her skin was like sandpaper. It was so odd. Like you couldn't really see it unless you got really close, but you could feel it. You could put your hand and lightly rub her skin, and it literally felt like sandpaper. And I'm going, this is horrible.
Right.
Like, what is happening on the inside? Look at the way this thing is presenting after just 5 days. What happens if it's 5 years? What if it's 20 years? What is happening to the inside that's making it look like that and feel like that on the outside?
Right, for sure. And that's how you have to look at it, is if things are finally manifesting, that it's showing on your skin or it's showing with your bloating or you're actually getting headaches, what do you think your insides look like? I mean, that's just, think about it. What kind of damage and inflammation is going on inside? And it's hard to to imagine that because you can't see it. But I had, just a client, a few that we're working with also right now with another autoimmune skin condition called granuloma annulare. And her dermatologist continues to tell her that, oh, it's just autoimmune. There's nothing you can do. You can try to control it with these creams and steroids, but there's really nothing you can do. And again, we started working together through her gut health, her food balance, her nutrient balance, and treating candida or fungal overgrowth, which is how her granuloma annulare is presenting as, definitely seeing improvements. But of course, like anybody, we want it fixed tomorrow. And I had to, take a step back and say, think about spraining your ankle. Your ankle is going to be swollen for 6 weeks, right? If you don't put it in a boot or a cast and you continue to walk on it, even if you're taking it easy, it's going to take 4, 5, 6 weeks for that swelling, the inflammation to come down. That's the same type of process that we're working through your gut to get this skin manifestation to calm down. We have to target the gut first, allow the gut to heal, get the inflammation and the swelling to come down before then we can start actually rebuilding and strengthening the gut like you would the ligaments in your ankle. So it's a process. It certainly doesn't happen overnight, but it's frustrating because you can't see it. You can't see the inflammation coming down in your gut. It's just a time thing of being able to see from week to week that your skin is improving, your headaches are improving, your bloating is improving.
It's funny you say that because being able to see it is what changed it for me in particular. When I started, or the first time I wore the CGM, the continuous glucose monitor, that was the first time where I really understood the immediate impact that what I put in my mouth and how it directly affected my blood sugar. Like, it was absolutely nuts, where I'm going, prior to that, I think the first time I did it, I was around 35 and I was still getting away with eating 20 cookies whenever I wanted to and didn't really show much. There wasn't a whole lot of repercussions. And, it was getting a little harder. I was getting a little fluffier. I definitely was not in my prime like back in college. And I'm like, I guess this is just part of getting older. But it wasn't until I saw that, where I'm looking at the app on my phone and I'm watching my blood sugar spike. I'm watching my blood sugar crash and I'm going, holy cow. Because I know, as a medical provider and the knowledge that I have being married to Jenny, I'm going, this is what causes diabetes.
Right.
Like, I am on track for diabetes right here. This is it right here. It starts now. It starts in my 30s. I'll get it in my 60s if I don't change this.
Right.
So being able to see it, I'm like, okay, because you can't feel it. I mean, you could kind of feel it, but you didn't really pay attention to it. And now that I am more clean than not clean, now when I do eat 3 or 4 cookies instead, I don't do 20 anymore. But when I do 3 or 4, I feel it in my head. Like, it's almost a headache, like an instant headache, where I'm like, man, it's not even worth it anymore. But it all started with being able to see it. And that's the struggle that people have right now, is you can't see what's happening on the inside. You can't see your gut. Jenny deals with this all day, every day, and she can see it on your body. I deal with physical stuff all day, every day, so I can see your problem happening before you know it's happening. I can see that you're going to have a knee replacement or a hip replacement or some type of issue because of a compensation that you're having or that you're doing right now, but you can't feel it. So you don't do anything about it. And I think that's why it's so hard for people to make these changes.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard, like you've said, it's hard when you can't see what's happening, but also can't see the improvements, just like weight loss, right? People are not going to stay disciplined with their meal plan and their exercise if they're not seeing any progress. And again, so that's the hard part with allowing your gut to heal, is just giving the time and understanding the process, thinking about it like your sprained ankle of from 1 week to the next, the inflammation and the swelling is coming down. I just can't see it on the inside. And I'm glad you brought up the CGM, the continuous glucose monitor, because it's so correlated to gut health. I mean, a lot of individuals who have poor gut health have an unstable blood sugar, have these rises and falls, the spikes and falls of their blood sugar, which actually impacts the immune system and the body's ability to fight off fungal overgrowth or bacterial overgrowth. And bacteria and fungus feed off of sugar. So we will use a lot of times a continuous glucose monitor in our gut healing patients just to say, okay, we have to keep the blood sugar stable to allow time for the gut to heal. We have to keep the blood sugar stable to prevent the body or this bacteria and fungus to feed off of the sugar circulating. So that's a big part of it.
Love it.
So, overall, what we want to really, the point we want to drive home today is that your gut health and your macronutrients, so the balance of what you're eating between proteins, carbs, and fats, your gut health is not just about your weight loss and your bloating. It's going to manifest in many different ways. It's going to manifest in hormone imbalances and skin issues, eczema, psoriasis, seborrheic dermatitis, sunspots. We have people come talk to us about their sunspots, and I'm like, it's your gut. It's not the sun. Yes, the sun is making them brighter or whiter on these spots. Do you remember how bad my sunspots were when we first met?
Yes.
I had tons of them and I was so self-conscious about it. And it was a gut health issue. I now have 0 sunspots since I figured out my own gut problem. But sunspots are another one that we see down here in Florida, or headaches, migraines, fatigue, waking up in the middle of the night. All of these things are related to your nutrients and your gut health. You just have to dig a little bit deeper.
Wow. Thanks for slapping me in the face with that one, right? I'm like, check.
Yeah.
Check. That's me. Are you talking to me right now?
That's why you're like, do I have to? So you're saying that I don't have to nap every day? No, there's something else happening here. So if you're a napper, it's probably your gut.
Oh my goodness. I just brought this up 2 days ago. That's why she's staring at me with these cutting eyes right now. I've been a napper since my whole entire life.
Our little one, our 1-year-old, is not a sleeper. She never has been. Like, it took her, I think, 10 months to sleep through the night versus Stella, our older one, was sleeping through the night at 3 months old. And Vera is one that if she's not in her bed, she ain't going to sleep. So she's just opposite of you, where you will sleep anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
I could be anywhere. If I say it's time to take a nap, I'll close my eyes and I could be out in less than 5 minutes. 5 minutes max. Anywhere.
Yeah.
I could be at a rock concert. And if I'm not into it, I can say, okay, I'm out.
Mm-hmm. It's probably true. So, all right. I think that was it. But go check out the testimonial. Look for yourself on Google reviews. Check out some of the other testimonials that are out there. Download the Berman Health and Wellness app. Try your free week trial for food tracking, accountability, workouts, recipes, meal plans. Try it out. Let us know what you think.
Awesome. That was a great episode. Thank you.
Oh, and check out the Berman Golf membership site, info.bermangolf.com
/membership.
/membership.
Yeah, we'll link to it in the show notes.
Awesome. Like us, subscribe to us,
share the episode,
share this episode.
Come on. Email us some questions too. What do you want us to talk about next?
Perfect. Ciao for now. Thank you for subscribing on your social media and podcast platforms to the Berman Method. Dr. Jake Berman with Berman Physical Therapy and Jenny Berman, Physician Assistant with Berman Health and Wellness. You can find more information on our website, www.bermanpt.com for physical therapy, bermanpt.com /wellness for the health and wellness. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and on your podcast platforms. So be sure to follow us, like us, subscribe to us. And if you would like any further information, definitely visit our website and reach out to us. You may also find our free reports on the websites as well, where you can download this free information for yourself. Have a great day.